Welcome to day 358 of the New Way. I'll reread John 21:20 through 23. Peter turned and saw that the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them. This was the one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who is going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." Because of this, the rumor spread among the believers that this disciple would not die. But Jesus did not say that he would not die. He only said, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you?" I do not understand God's ways, but this I have learned. What he requires of me may be totally different from what he requires of you. And if I am not careful, I will become critical of you. My responsibility is to follow and obey where Jesus is leading me. I must not require the same of you. Let me give you a simple example. This experience was from way back before we had kids to keep us entertained. Just about every night between dinner and bedtime, David and I would prepare music for a mini concert that we performed each Wednesday night at our church. Then we would relax by singing soft rock and roll. We would just sing through book after book of these 70s pop tunes. One Saturday evening I was singing when I noticed shadows on our living room curtain. We lived in a basement apartment, and the windows were half underground. There was a window box dug down around each window so that we could get sunlight. There was a wooden box around each window, and from the shadows I could tell that there were 8 to 10 kids sitting on that window box listening to our music. I didn't disturb them, but whispered to David that we had an audience. So we continued to entertain them without them knowing that we knew they were there. After several days of this, I slowly opened the curtains, and boy, did they run. So the next time, I let David play the piano, and I snuck out and went to talk with them. I told them I appreciated their listening and just wanted to meet them. We became friends. As I began to pray for them and consider what I was teaching them, I realized that God was calling me to reconsider how much time I spent on the secular or rock and roll music and how much Christian music I was giving them. I felt God asking me to commit to doing 100% music that honored Him. It didn't seem to diminish the audience's enthusiasm, and I felt that that was what God was calling me to do. I have not sung secular music since then, at least not for performing or entertaining. Now, there's no scripture that says you shouldn't sing secular, at least if it's clean. But it's something that God has asked me to do. David sings and plays secular music, and that's just fine. I listen to it, but I won't sing it. I felt a special call, and I want to be obedient. I won't use my voice for anything except songs that tell about Jesus. God calls some people to be missionaries. Others He does not. It would be wrong for missionaries to be critical of other followers who don't give up their lives and move to a foreign mission field. At times, God has called us to give sacrificially when others around us are not asked to do that. But the blessing comes from obedience to what God is asking us to do, not whether everyone else agrees or participates. I believe that's the point Jesus wants you to get. Don't be looking at what God is doing in other people's lives. Keep your eyes on Him. If you give because they gave, or you go because they are going, or you serve because others are serving, you will miss out on the blessing that God has for you. God will bless your obedience. He will develop a personalized, individualized plan for your life. Your obedience brings the blessing. God's plan for you will be different from anyone else's plan. As you obediently follow His instructions one step at a time, then you can be certain that you are right in the center of God's will for your life. In His service, Dale.